In today's tutorial video, I'm going to be showing you how to knit in Magic Loop. Magic Loop is a great technique to have in your knitter's toolbox because if ever you're missing out on a certain circumference size, on a needle size, Magic Loop, you can knit anything from socks to hats to mittens to sleeves, and it can replace some double pointed needles. I know that that can be a little intimidating. So I would definitely recommend you trying Magic Loop. It is so easy and simple, and I want to show you how to start joining in the round and knitting on Magic Loop. For today's tutorial, I am using a circular needle interchangeable set by Knit Picks. This is in the Knit Picks Prism. I used the US 6, and I have a 32-inch cord. Now, when you are doing Magic Loop, for me personally, I recommend anything over a 32-inch cord. That will allow you enough room to be able to do your project and have some space. For the yarn, in today's tutorial, I'm using up some Swish worsted weight in Wonderland Heather. This is an amazing yarn from Knit Picks, super duper soft, and it is 100% fine superwash merino. Let's get casting on. For this example, I'm going to be casting on 20 stitches. So I'll be casting them on one needle and then dividing them onto the two. So I have my loop, and then I'm going to be casting on 19 stitches because this cast on always counts as one stitch. So we are going to be casting on 19. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now you can cast on any type of method you like. I love a long tail cast on. It's what I typically use, but you can cast on any way that you want. You will then take all of your stitches and place them onto the cord. You will want to divide these stitches into half because you want half on the first needle and half on the second needle. So we're going to take 10 stitches and then pull the cord through. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So right in here, I just split my stitches a little bit and I'm going to pull out the cord. Okay, sorry for all the clinging. Pull out this cord. I want both of my stitches, all the stitches back on the needles. So we just pull the cord and now we have 10 stitches on the top and 10 stitches on the bottom needle. Also known as sometimes needle 1 and needle 2, is you've cast on 20 stitches and then you're going to be working in the round, which means that you will be knitting around and closing in this gap between your two needles. What you're going to be doing is you're going to make sure that nothing is twisted. Now what I mean twisted is that the stitches actually twist upon themselves. If this happens, there is no way to undo it. You will have to rip out and start over again. So this is really a key thing to always look at whenever you're starting any project of working in the round. You want to make sure that everything is facing in the inside and that you're ready to get started. You're then going to be taking your working yarn. Always make sure this is called your tail, which is the end where we've cast on. The working yarn is coming from your ball of yarn. So you're going to be taking that working yarn and joining it here. Now this looks a little something like this. We're going to be pulling out this needle where the working yarn is coming from because we want to attach it to this first needle. Now the cord is going to be holding onto those stitches while we work on this first needle, and it looks something like this. I hold on to my stitches because I don't want them to get twisted as I'm pulling out this needle. I pull out, nothing's moved. I'm going to be taking this needle and putting it into the first stitch. Again, keeping a hold on all of my stitches. making sure that I'm taking my working yarn and not the tail end. I'm going to be knitting the first stitch. And you can see already that this is going to close the gap in between the two needles. I'm going to be going into knit, and that's it. So for this one, I'm just going to do a knit one and purl one to share it with you all. And you're just knitting across your needles as normally you would. And we're going to be ending on that purl stitch. Now that we've finished one needle, we want to work the stitches on the other needle. So what I do is I turn my work so that it's facing the same side. I then want to pull out the needle to bring it back to the beginning. And I'm going to be doing the exact same thing as I did on the other needle. Since my working yarn is here, we want to join and work on this needle. I'm going to be pulling the back needle and working the knit stitches. Knit one, purl one. I've just finished the last stitch on this needle. Again, I'm going to turn my work, always turning, pulling out the needle, and bringing it back. Now you can see that we've just completed our first round. I always put that tail end in the inside. You can also cut it a little shorter if you did too much of a long tail. And we have just worked in the round and cast on with the magic loop method. I'm going to do another round to show you how magic loop works. Again, we take out the back needle, bring it to the front, and we're going to knit on these front needle stitches, excuse me, because our working yarn is coming from the back. We're going to still do our knit one and purl one. Magic loop is such a key technique to have because I do all of my hats on magic loop. I do my mittens, I do socks, I do the sleeves on sweaters, and it's amazing because with an interchangeable set, you can really almost have all of the sizes and do so many projects when you know how to do magic loop. So I've reached the end. I'm going to turn, pull out that top cord, and now, same thing. My working yarn is in the back. I'm going to take out the back needle, bring it to the front, and continue my knit one, purl one. Let me know in the comments below, are you going to try this technique? Is this something that you have been wanting to learn? Or just let me know if you like these types of tutorials. I absolutely love hearing from you all, so definitely drop a comment and a like if you like this type of tutorial. All right, we finished our last stitch. Always turning and pull out the cord. And there it is. We have knit 2 full rounds on magic loop, casting on in the round, and now you are ready to continue your project.